thank you everybody for being here for this new interview for Televive and for Light Channel. And thank you, Dr. Muoroutis, for being here for us today. Can you talk a little bit about you and your bio?
Okay, my name is Konstantinos Muoroutis and I come originally from Berea, an ancient city of 2,500 years, a non-stop living civilization from Greece, northern Greece. And I have finished my high school in city of Katerini, and then I have finished a degree program in biology, and then in 1990 I have come in Germany, where I have worked and studied continuously in medicine and in the field of neuroscience for the last almost 20 years, the half of my life. So from 2005 my family and I who have moved from Germany back to Greece, and from that point on I'm working around Greece and in Cyprus, holding seminars, doing lectures and doing first degree preventive medicine and healthcare.
Preventive medicine, what is it all about?
The question is an ultimate question of life and death. Prevention means that you do something even though a disease or the symptoms of the disease have not already started. Today in medicine we try to detect very early those sickness that really are a kind of pestilence for the humanity. What I mean by that, we have cancer, we have heart disease, cardiovascular diseases, diabetes, obesity. We call it degenerative diseases. That means there is a degeneration, a slow process. The best methods we have to take can detect early a disease, but that's not a prevention, that's an early diagnosis. So prevention means what the person is doing or has to do so this disease will never come to the point to be developed to the fullness. And that's my aim when either teaching in the university my students or teaching people in public with the lectures and seminars. And prevention is a multifaceted and multi-level way of life. It's a stand of life. That's why we say lifestyle. Well, by lifestyle in English we mean that it's your style of life, right? So my style of life can either be good or bad, can be shiny or can be dark, can be uplifting or degrading, depending upon the choices which I make. So we try to teach people to make good choices for good life and good health.
Doctor, what do you think about this alternative remedy, this alternative way to treat diseases, like for example these shamanic rituals or for example even homeopathy?
First of all, we have to clarify when we say alternative. By alternative, automatically we go and say that the classical medicine, the evidence-based medicine, is the real one. Now, I can give you two examples. Homeopathy is an alternative way of medicine, or healthcare, right? And many people are in favor of homeopathy and many people are against homeopathy. Homeopathy has a main way of foundation. Simila similis curantur. That means the same will heal the same. So it has a basis for that. It's science. Let me give you an example. When in medicine we provide vaccination, we give a vaccine, it's a homeopathy. Because we give us almost the same thing, a dead thing, let's say a dead virus, to the body, so the body will remember, and if the enemy will come, will fight that. So in this case, homeopathy has a form of function. On the other way, if I go to the classical medicine, and let's say I have a hypertension, or my blood sugar from diabetes is 40 or 400, and I perform homeopathic thing, that means I have to increase my sugar. If I have 400, my glucose, and I put more sugar in me, then I'm gonna die. To clarify to the people around that they may see us is not the one, not the other, alternative or classical, can heal. They can only provide a symptomatic treatment because they interfere only in the level of the symptom. The cause of the disease, either the alternative or the classic, cannot heal it. at least classical medicine is very fair and sincere medicine, because they say in the textbook, my textbook in pathology says we cannot heal, we can provide the best treatment. Now, you ask me about the shamanism and spiritual healing and touching and all these things with astral projection, faith healing, all this kind of thing. I want to go by science, and I want to have evidence in my hands. You understand what I'm saying? It's not just what I think or what I feel or what I believe. In medicine, we have the placebo. That means it's a pseudo-drug. It's not a real thing. It's sugar and water. If I can persuade you, you can have experiences in your life because your mind affects your body and vice versa. So I prefer to stay away from this kind of alternative ways of healing or treatment because we have no evidence, and something because maybe, let's say, from nature, from plant-based, this doesn't mean by no means on earth that it's good for you. Whatever the earth produces is not always good. You take, let's say, marijuana, or you take cocaine, or opium. It's produced by plants, but this is not for the human being.
Do you think there is a conflict with the old way to think medicine? Like, for example, people, they think it's okay just to take one pill and be fine. So, for example, if I had diabetes, for example, I would prefer to take just one pill than change my lifestyle. What do you think about that?
Yes. Benjamin Franklin, one of the founders of the American Republic, has once said there are three things that are very hard to break: steel, the diamond, and the human egoism. The first two you can break it, but the third, no way. The new way of medicine, 21st century, is not new at all. It's very old. And that's why I said my people on the patients, I'm going to reveal to you the secret. Not the secret of the secret that came published in the book, but the secret that came from the beginning of human beings that they have walked this earth. What I mean by that? Let's say, when I have a person that the heart is stopped from a heart attack, from myocardial infarction, what I do to this person? Am I trying to talk to him when he's dead there? No. Am I trying to give him good food? No. Try to kiss him? No. I'm trying to make his heart pump again, right? I need oxygen, and then take the defibrillator and just give him some electromagnetic force. The best things in life that can sustain you and I and the people that they see us with life are simple, are real, and are free. Let's say, you can live without food with 50 till 60 days, okay? Depending on the environment conditions. You can live without water around 1 week, plus minus 3 days. You can live without air, only 5 to 7 minutes. You can live without hope, not even a second. So we start from the basics. We need to implant and to make a so-called lobotomy in the brain of the person to have a hope and to have a meaning in life. Then he will change his lifestyle. Breathing air is one of the most important things. If you don't breathe, you die. So one of the principles in the New Start program, the lifestyle program, what we provide to people is having a good air and breathing good. Then we have other principles of life that can sustain and make the best environment so the person can have hope and live and act out this hope. So in reality it's not new, it's very old. And the things that we say and share with you right now is the things that the ancient Greeks were saying. Hippocrates was the father of medicine. So he said, for example, let the food be your medication and the medication your food. Today, we know that 85 of all cancers, we have more than 150 types of cancers in oncology. More than 85% from them can be prevented and reversed if you change your nutrition and your lifestyle. Then we have diseases like diabetes or like cardiovascular diseases. Cardiovascular diseases, heart problems. In the United States last year died more than 1 million people because of problems here. And 99% from them could be saved if they have changed their lifestyle. Now, how you can change a person? No, you cannot do that. And that's the greatest stress, to try to change someone. But you can provide good information and you can be the example for the others. Then the change perhaps may come.
Doctor, you talked to us about this new start, this new lifestyle. Can you explain to us what it's all about?
Yeah, the New Start is an acronym in English, and the first letter is N for nutrition, E for exercise, W for water, S for sunshine, T for temperance, A for air, R for rest, and T for trust. In New Start we say every individual is a new star without the last T. But you can only make a new start if you put the T, trust. We have evidence in medicine today that the faith factor is a significant factor for health promotion. That means if you have a trusting relationship with other human beings in a horizontal level, and then if you have a trusting relationship in the vertical level, your health can be uplifted and can be higher and higher. And we can measure that. People religious people, not religious, phony people, only by face, but we say not lip service, but heart service. These kind of people, they have a better lifestyle, they have less degenerative diseases, and they are more satisfied with their life. Satisfaction, there used to be a song also from a very well-known rock band, I Can Get No Satisfaction. But satisfaction can be achieved in life not of how much or how many we have, but who we are. Erich Fromm, a German philosopher and psychologist, has said, it's not important if you have, it's important if you are something. He has said in German, haben oder sein. Yeah. Most people, they want to have, that's why they cannot be anything. But if you are something, then you have something. So when you have something, you give something, then you don't lose something. And science, social psychology has proven that when you give for a good cause and for the others, not for yourself, then you're promoting health. We did an experiment, we took two kinds of people, we gave them the same amount of money, and we said to this kind of group, spend the money on your own, do whatever you like, go shopping therapy, you say, do this, eat, drink, be merry, and whatever. And the other said, use the money to help somebody else. Then before, in the two groups, we draw blood and we see the percentage of dopamine. There's a specific neurotransmitter in the brain that makes you feel calm and good and satisfied. All drugs work with dopamine, like cocaine. We measure serotonin and endorphin level. Now, we sent both groups out. This kind of group that they spend money on their own, after they came back and we took the blood, because in the blood there is the truth, right? Always in the blood is the truth. And we took the same amount, no change. And that's significant because they have felt good. Oh, I bought a new car. Oh, I bought a new dress. I bought a new watch. Oh, you see this? Wow, it's an expensive pencil. No, but they felt they were satisfied, but in reality they were not. You see? When we took the other group, wow, serotonin and dopamine level high. They didn't even have for themselves. They just had something and they gave something. And by giving, you become more satisfied. And this is the cause of the major diseases. Because we lose hope and sense in life. That's why we eat wrong. That's why we smoke. That's why we drink. That's why we don't exercise. That's why we feel anger and hate and hopelessness. If this change, then body will change and health will come higher and higher.
Doctor, you talked to us about your past as a believer. So, how can you live with your scientific knowledge and your faith as a believer in one person?
Albert Einstein, he said, religion without science is lame. Science without religion is blind. That's why you see the half of the priest blind and the half of the scientist lame. So you need to unite the two things. It may come as a surprise to you or to the audience, that they think that the majority of scientists, scientific world, are atheists. No. There was a study, statistical study in the United States and England in 1999, before the Second World War. And from the 100 scientists, 40% at that time answered they believe in creation, they believe in an intelligent being, right? They didn't define, but they believe in something outside of them. 90, almost 80 years later, comes the second statistical thing in the United States and in England. Guess what? 40% still believe from the scientific world in intelligent design. So almost 50, let's say, percent, they believe in something higher. For me as a scientist, after studying biology, and medicine, and neuroscience, and all these aspects, I should have been, forgive me if I say, an idiot if I were not to believe. And by believing is not the absence of proof. We have so much proof today, not to prove God on the laboratory, but to prove the existence by the results. You understand what I'm saying? I cannot take God and put him inside a laboratory and prove him again. Let me give you an example. There are two models regarding from where we came from. Evolution or creation, right? There is no Switzerland in between. Now, if I want to be scientific 100%, to believe in evolution, I need to perform the same experiment and see that this has happened in the past. I cannot go in the past, so I cannot prove evolution. I just have to accept it. You see, I was not there, so I was not there also in the creation. But I have all the evidence that I can prove that. And as a scientist, and especially working with sick people, I have three great enemies in the healing process. It's called doubt, guilt, and fear. When you're sick, you have doubts that, am I going to become well? You have fears. Why this happened to me? What happened in the future? And guilt. Oh, why this happened to me now? Oh, I deserve to have this. Punishment. The fear of punishment is an annihilator, an inhibition to the healing process. I used to be an atheist too, an evolutionist, but the majority of the people around, scientists, are not atheists, they are agnostics, because they cannot prove that there is no God. Science on its own cannot prove the existence of God, but cannot prove the absence of God. The best a scientist can pronounce is, I don't know, but cannot say, because the role of science not to prove God, is to prove the results in the natural world. That's the role of science. I used to be also an atheist, or an agnostic, an evolutionist, but the major reason why I was like this was not because of God, it was because of the representatives of God on earth. Because I was seeing them, and I was saying back there in Greece, and by saying this, I'm not condemning or criticizing any system, any person, any individual. I'm talking as a person to person right now, or as a scientist to an audience. I was seeing how the church, the official church, was functioning, and I was saying, if these guys, they have their prototype hymn on the cross, these two has nothing to do together. They are day and night. I don't want to have anything with them. So I got involved also with Buddhism and Hinduism and even with spiritualism. I was searching for meaning. And I have tried all that. But in the end, either there is one truth, an objective like Aristotle and Plato has said, there is absolute one truth, and there are many ways to reach that truth, but there is one truth. There cannot be many.
I want to finish with one question. How do people react with this new information? I mean, when they discover this new truth?
Comme ci, comme ça. That means there are people that they get... when I'm talking sometimes in my lectures, I'm so passionate, I get really sweat. You know, it might be even minus degrees, and I'm sweating because I'm trying not to convince, but to get all what I have inside and all this passion and to convey to the audience there, because I do know that if they don't change their lifestyle, they're going sooner or later to have a disease. Listen to statistics, and the audience may hear or see now. 3 from 4 men till they reach 50, they're going to have one or another way of cancer type, and 2 from 3 women after 50. Do you know what this means? It's a very, very fearful statistic. So, and I know the cause or the causes of the disease. So I'm asking myself, I need not to persuade, but I need to show them the truth. So they can believe the truth, receive the truth, accept the truth, live and act the truth, and they're going to be not healthy, they're going to be happy, and they're going to have satisfaction and joy in their lives. So how they respond? When I'm lecturing, there are these kind of people just looking at me and say, why he's jumping up and down? What's the big deal? Why he makes so much out of it? And there are people that just, wow. Depending on the reception. Let me give you an example. If you're in love, I'm not going to ask you if you're in love, but I hope you do, you are. I'm in love with my wife, and I miss her, so tomorrow I will fly back to Greece to see her, my daughter. The first time I saw my beloved Maria, and she said to me, I want to be your wife. I felt, a surge of endorphin. I almost collapsed. And then she gave me a kiss. And then we hold each other. At that time, she said to me the truth, okay? So the truth of my wife, by proclaiming this truth to me, activated my own body and soul so I can feel the wow experience. This is what I'm going to say now. It's a hypothetical scenario. It's not valid, it's hypothesis. Let's go 40 years later now on our marriage. Now Maria wakes up and I wake up. She looks at me. I look at her. I'm bald. I have belly. She's whoa. You know how it is, huh? I read my newspaper in the morning. She looks at the TV in the morning. She makes no breakfast. She says to me, Costa, you know what? I said, what do you want? I'm your wife, you know. And I respond to her, so what? I have it with me 40 years now. I'm fed up with you. You see, it's the same word, but the meaning has changed. There is no love involved. That's why one guy, a person that he claimed that he was God before 2,000 years ago, he said, love one another. There was biology in there. It was not theology. Love one another as I have loved you. And do you know what? When he said this, some hours later, he saw his love when they were. And when he looked at Peter in the palace with a crown of thorns and blood on his face and whipped from the whip, and he looked at this disciple and said, do you see my love? A new commandment I leave to you. Love one another as I have loved you. So, do you know as a scientist what's the study of my life to my patients? To show this love of God in the biological level and to experience that. That's why a lady that I admire so much, she's died before some years ago, and she used to live in the United States. And before in the end of her life, she was living in a place, and around there were living some Mexican people as well in the United States. And when people they were going to visit that old lady, they were asking about her name, and these Mexicans never knew her name. And then the people asked, we want this lady, she's like this, and small lady. Ah, you mean this small lady that she loves Jesus, right? Yeah, oh, she lives up there. They didn't know the name of this lady, they knew only one thing, she loves Jesus. So, if we really start loving each other as the Creator loves us, then believe me, will be no hate, no pain, no misery, no problem, no crisis, nothing. Mahatma Gandhi, I believe he was a Christian. Mahatma Gandhi said, if Christians or Christianity because he said, I love Christ, but I hate the Christians. If Christians have read the Sermon on the Mount, the blessings of Jesus, and they have understood that and acted and lived that, all world will be fine. And he concluded that the whole world will have become Christian if there were not the Christians in the world. So that means you and I, or the people that they see us today, or whatever, we have a responsibility. And the responsibility is to stand tall to this covenant that the Creator has given us. You know what? I'm not for no reason here. There is a reason why I live here. And the reason I live, I'm an ambassador. I have to go and to show to people, not through science only, but as a human being to human being, hey, there is someone that cares for you. There is someone that loves you unconditionally, and someone that expects and longs to have you back home. That's why whenever they say to me, where is your home? In Berea, in Athens, I say, no, I have a home that is somewhere else. They laugh at me. I said, no, you're not clever because you built a home and it's destroyed. We're going to be destroyed. Wherever I build my home, it's forever. So my hope and my joy for people is just to see them happy, with meaning, sense, and passionate for life.
So thank you, Doctor, again for being here, and thank you all of you who watched this video. And I remember you, if you want to know more, you can visit the website www.televivetv.org or www.lightchanneltv.de. Thank you again for being here with us.